Welcome back to WION World as One. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Heem Korsura and here's what we've lined up for you on Speed News today. The Israeli military has said that it intercepted a missile fired from Yemen, where Houthi rebels have regularly launched attacks which they say are in response to Israel's offensive in Gaza. The Israeli military made the announcement on Telegram following a siren alert. The statement comes after Israel said that it had downed a missile fired from Yemen on Sunday and two others on Thursday. The Yemeni group has repeatedly fired missiles and drones at Israel since the Gaza war broke out in October 2023, following Hamas's attack on Israel. The rebels, who say they are acting in solidarity with Palestinians, paused their attacks during a 2-month Gaza ceasefire that ended in March but resumed after Israel restarted its campaign in the territory. As Israel continues to expand military operations in Gaza, rescuers say Israeli strike in the Gaza Strip have claimed lives of at least 52 people in the latest strikes. This comes as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to bring back all hostages, living or dead. Netanyahu's remarks came amid proposed 70-day ceasefire that was to see the release of 10 Israeli hostages along more Palestinian prisoners. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has denied claims that Hamas accepted his hostage deal proposal, calling on the terror group to agree to a temporary ceasefire offer that he said Israel will approve. Earlier, several media outlets cited unnamed Hamas officials declaring that the group had accepted an updated proposal from Witkoff. A tragic incident occurred in Liverpool as a grey minivan crashed into a crowd celebrating the city's Premier League title win, injuring at least 47 people. The incident happened as the parade was concluding, with thousands of fans gathered on the streets. The 53-year-old man, believed to be the driver, was arrested at the scene. Authorities have confirmed that the incident is not being investigated as an act of terrorism, and the individual is considered the sole person involved. Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense has detected a significant presence of Chinese military assets around the island, including 27 sorties of the People's Liberation Army aircraft. Authorities say 18 out of 27 sorties crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait and entered the northern, central, eastern and southwestern Adis. This development is part of the recent pattern of escalated Chinese military maneuvers around Taiwan, sparking concerns over regional stability and potentially threatening the island's security. China and Cambodia staged a Golden Dragon 2025 joint military exercise involving 11 naval vessels and 3 helicopters. The drill simulated a cargo ship hijacking, with joint forces conducting counter-terrorism and anti-hijacking missions. This marks the first air-sea life force exercise in the series and the first time the Cambodia-China Joint Support and Training Center at Port Ream was utilized in the life force operation. It also highlighted growing military cooperation between the two nations. Now, Hong Kong's Chief Executive John Lee has extended an invitation to Harvard University students affected by the U.S. restrictions on foreign student enrollment. Lee stated that Hong Kong will welcome students who face difficulties studying in the U.S. due to discriminatory policies. The U.S. ban enacted under Donald Trump's administration prohibits Harvard University from enrolling foreign students, citing allegations of fostering anti-Semitism and coordinating with the Chinese Communist Party. Chinese nationals make up about a fifth of Harvard's foreign student intake in 2024. A federal judge has issued a temporary restraining order against the ban, but the status of Harvard's international students remains uncertain. French President Emmanuel Macron visited Hanoi's University of Science and Technology. He interacted with students studying at the institution before delivering a speech about the future of France's relationship with Vietnam. Vietnam is Macron's first stop on a 6-day tour of Southeast Asia that will include Indonesia and Singapore. A delegation from Russia's Interior Ministry, led by Vice Minister, arrives at North Korea's Pyongyang International Airport on Monday evening. A Russian delegation led by Deputy Interior Minister was received at the Pyongyang International Airport by Deputy Minister of Public Security Lee Song-chol and Russian Ambassador Alexander Matsegora. This visit is part of the growing diplomatic efforts between Russia and North Korea amid deepening military cooperation between the two nations. Firefighters extinguished a fire at Ecuador's largest oil refinery, which forced the evacuation of the site in Esmeraldas. Local officials said that the blaze was brought under control after several hours and no one was injured by the fire. Built in the late 1970s, the Esmeraldas refinery has the capacity to process around 110,000 barrels of crude oil per day. An investigation has been launched into the cause of the blaze as well. In a tragic incident in Albuquerque, a new 1-year-old boy died after being left in a hot truck for several hours. According to the Albuquerque police, the child's parents had left the boy in the care of a male relative who lived at home when the tragedy happened. Detectives interviewed the relative as well as a number of family members and neighbors. No arrests have been made so far, and the local district attorney's office is yet to file the charges. In a spine-chilling incident in India's Panchkula, 7 members of a family from Dehradun died by suicide by consuming poison. The bodies of all 7 were found locked in a car parked on the road outside a house in Sector 27 of Panchkula, Haryana. According to reports, the family had reportedly come to Panchkula to attend a spiritual event and were under financial distress. Police have found a suicide note from the scene and are currently investigating the matter. Rita Sherpa, renowned as the Everest man, has achieved a remarkable feat by scaling Mount Everest for a record-breaking 31st time. The 55-year-old Nepali climber successfully reached the summit at 4 a.m. on Tuesday, leading an Indian Army Adventure Wing Everest expedition team. With a career spanning over 3 decades, Rita first conquered Everest in 1994 and has since solidified his position as one of the world's most accomplished high-altitude climbers. His dedication and expertise made him a legendary figure in the mountaineering community. Chilean President Gabriel Boric visited Puerto Varas in southern Chile to assess damage from a rare tornado that injured at least 19 people and damaged around 250 homes. Barish met the officials and residents to assess the damage and support the recovery efforts. He announced a recovery bonus of up to $1,593 per affected household to support those impacted by the tornado. He also urged the swift application of a fund to enable families to purchase tools for self-reconstruction, aiming to facilitate the recovery process. Archaeologists in northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region have discovered a site of rock paintings dating back around 2,500 years. The paintings were found on the steep northern cliffs of the Sara Lake, a high-altitude alpine lake in Xinjiang's Tianshan Mountains. Two sites with 30 paintings have been discovered depicting animal figures and hunting. The most representative one being the picture of a man hunting with a bow drawn, and archaeologists say that the images of animals such as ibex and argali in the rock paintings indicated that the lake area was once a fertile pasture. French Prime Minister François Bayrou has unveiled a $102.5 million initiative to decarbonize the maritime sector and protect France's oceans. This ambitious plan aims to tackle the pressing challenges facing the country's seas and oceans. During a speech aboard a French Navy supply tanker, Bayrou emphasized the significance of the maritime sector, stating, and I'm quoting her, "Today, as yesterday, our future is being played out offshore." This underscores France's commitment to sustainable development and environmental stewardship. Severe thunderstorms battered Oklahoma during the overnight and early morning hours, prompting multiple tornado warnings. The storm produced hail and heavy rain as severe weather intensified in other parts of the state. A moderate earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 5.1 hit Quezon province, located east of Manila, on Tuesday afternoon. According to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, the quake occurred at 12:17 p.m. local time, with its epicenter approximately 24 kilometers northwest. The tremor was also felt in the Philippine capital, which is located near the epicenter. The Philippines is prone to frequent seismic activity due to its location along the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region of high volcanic and earthquake activity. The dollar struggled to regain its footing as investor concerns over a sweeping tax and spending bill and its implications for the U.S. debt profile added to the recent erosion of confidence in American assets. The euro gained while the United States was on holiday. This after U.S. President Donald Trump delayed the imposition of tariffs on Europe. The yen was underpinned by comments from the Bank of Japan governor that kept alive chances of interest rate hikes later this year. Attention now turns to debate in the U.S. Senate on Trump's tax cut bill that is expected to add to the debt pile in the world's largest economy. Markets have been sensitive to Trump's proposal, particularly after Moody's downgrade of the U.S. sovereign credit rating on the 16th of May. Oil prices eased in early trade as market participants weighed the possibility of an OPEC Plus decision. to further increase its crude oil output at a meeting later this week. Brent crude futures shed 12 cents to trade around $64.62 a barrel by 12:22 a.m. GMT, while U.S. oil futures trade around $61 a barrel. 8 OPEC Plus members that had pledged additional voluntary cuts are now expected to meet on the 31st of May, one day earlier than previously scheduled. Losses were limited as U.S. President Donald Trump announced an extension to trade talks with the European Union until the 9th of July, alleviating immediate fears of tariffs that could suppress fuel demand. Tesla sales in Europe fell 49% in April from a year prior, even as battery electric sales rose by 27.8%, as the US EV maker's upgrade of its Model Y shows little signs of improving the brand's tarnished image in the region. Overall car sales in the region remained roughly consistent with last year, falling just 0.3%, with the strongest sales growth coming from electric and plug-in hybrid cars. Tesla sales in Europe continue to drop, reflecting a shift away from the brand as Chinese competition strengthens and some protests against Elon Musk's political views. European car makers strive to cut domestic costs and tackle competition amid US tariffs on auto imports and a slowing global economy. A Reuters report claims Toyota is moving some production of its Corolla sports car to Britain and will spend around $56 million on a dedicated line there to build exports for North America by shifting some production from Japan. Toyota aims to use excess capacity in Britain to help it cut delivery wait times for the car. The report claims that the move was not in reaction to US President Donald Trump's tariffs on automobile imports. The Trump administration agreed this month to reduce tariffs on auto imports from Britain to up to 10% on up to 100,000 vehicles a year. Japan is seeking to repeal the 25% tariffs that the US has imposed on all auto imports.